A British inquiry finds that Russian President Vladimir Putin probably approved the 2006 murder in London of ex-KGB agent Alexander Litvinenko with radioactive plutonium-210. And joining me now is Jonathan Sacerdoti, I-24 News London correspondent. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good to be with you.
Jonathan, can you tell us first, why did this inquiry take as long as it did?
The inquiry is a particularly sensitive one because, of course, the case that's being dealt with is one of nothing less than nuclear mini-terrorism on the streets of London. Given that that's the case, and the fact that this is at the hands of potentially Vladimir Putin himself, the report having said that he is probably someone who authorized the killing, this is extremely sensitive. Britain does work with Russia in terms of sharing intelligence and on international affairs, such as the fight against ISIS in Syria. And owing to these things, it's particularly difficult for Britain to be pointing the finger at Russia, as has happened today as a result of Sir Robert Owen's publication of his inquiry's findings, finally, after 10 years of discussions of what happened to Alexander Litvinenko.
Yes, you mentioned the importance London attributed to relations with Moscow. Do you expect Prime Minister Cameron to temper his reaction?
Well, so far it's been tough talk but little action. The government has been keen to point out that in 2007 it did expel some members of the embassy, the Russian embassy in London. But other than that, it doesn't seem like they're going to do very much. They've said that it's very important to weigh what has happened against the current dealings with Russia that Britain has to have. Of course, Litvinenko's widow says that it would be terrible if Britain didn't act decisively and strongly. She wants numerous people evicted from the embassy in the UK now, and she wants some restraints on them, freezing of their accounts and the like, for those who are directly implicated in the killing of her husband. But so far it seems that despite the Russian ambassador being summoned to the Foreign Office, despite the tough talk of Theresa May, the Home Secretary, in the House of Commons directly after the publication of the findings of the report, despite these things, it's not clear that much is actually going to happen, and it's not clear that the widow's wishes will be, in fact, coming true.
Jonathan, high-ranking Russian officials were presumably in the loop. Now, do you expect the findings of the inquiry could lead to indictments, including at the international level?
Well, the two people involved are, in fact, wanted for arrest by the Metropolitan Police, and that was reiterated as well today by the government and the Metropolitan Police themselves. There's almost no chance of them being sent over to the UK. Russia's made it very clear that that won't happen, certainly not under Vladimir Putin's leadership. In fact, he's helped protect them since the 2006 event, which actually saw them potentially poisoning, in fact, not potentially, now decidedly poisoning Litvinenko and killing him. Those people, maybe after Putin has gone in possibly, let's say, 10 years or more, maybe at that point there may be some move for them to be sent over to the UK for a trial. But before that, it doesn't seem likely at all. And it doesn't seem likely that Britain's going to get its way in terms of getting any kind of justice taking place and being seen to take place within the United Kingdom.
Yes, I-24 News London correspondent Jonathan Sacerdoti, thank you very much for that.